Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. I'm Orrett Connor filling in for Miss Sabrina Turner this morning. Earlier, you heard my interview with Miss Liz Smith from the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the Cayman Islands. And we now will be talking about scouting in the Cayman Islands. And it's my pleasure to have in the studio with me the Executive Commissioner, Director of the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, Mr. Winston Hill. Mr. Hill, good morning. Welcome to the Business Buzz.
President, good morning to you, OC. Thank you very much for having me. And I salute you for declaring your interest up front.
Yes.
In the movement.
Sometimes they accuse me of being soft on my interviews, and especially on the political side, and I'm accused of being in favor of one party or the other, depending on how the interview goes, you know. Well, first, we want to talk about the importance of scouting in the Cayman Islands. Scouting goes back a long way. It has made men out of many of us in the earlier days. As our seafaring tradition, scouting also helped to prepare our young men when they went to sea as well. Let's very quickly go into the history of scouting in the Cayman Islands.
Came here in 1928, brought here by one Reverend Ed Beale, who was a Presbyterian pastor coming out of Jamaica. And back in the days, scouting was the organization. There were not many other organizations. There were many other activities. And so scouting was the organization. It was the thing to do back then. So over the years, scouting has had its ups and downs, its honeymoon period and its low period as well. But in recent years, there has been an upsurge. And scouting is alive and well in these Cayman Islands.
Yep. I remember looking at one of the notebooks, and at various times it was either Mr. Val Anderson or Teacher McField, Mr. Timothy McField, Mr. Clifton Hunton, who were secretaries to the Scout Association. And there's a note in there about reviving scouting in the Cayman Islands in 1945 because there had been a decline in scouting, and that decline was as a result of young Caymanians going off to the war. So that recruiting pool for scouting was no longer there. So after 1945, now it was they were trying to revive scouting, and they were having meetings in Georgetown, and the notes reflect the concerns that they had at that point in time.
Absolutely,
now
that's correct.
So tell us where are we with scouting now? We want to talk about some exciting new news about our new headquarters that we were able to build with the support of government, a lot of businesses, a lot of individuals as well, a lot of corporate citizens. Let's talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the various sectors that we have in the schools, in the districts, everything.
Yes, I will. But just to remind your listening public, viewing public as well,
yes,
as to what scouting is all about and why we do what we do, precisely, and the sort of impact that the program creates.
Very good.
To state that scouting is a non-formal educational movement complementary to the home and the school. So that some people think it's just recreation and the boys just go out and have a lot of fun and they play games and then maybe now and again they help an old lady across the street. No, that's not the image. That's not just what we do. Of course we do that, but lots of other things as well. That the program contributes to the holistic development and continuous education of young people. The program also is so designed to contribute to the young people's development so that they may become productive and active and contributing members of society. The Scout program contributes to what we call 6 main growth areas. Okay, there is a physical aspect, there's a spiritual aspect, there's a character development, there's social development, and of course, there's intellectual development. And so, the extent to which these aspects of a young person are is contributed to, the extent to which they benefit in respect of what we do, and these areas are catered to, they will become worthwhile citizens, and they'll be able to contribute, like we said, to society's development.
Okay. And I think it's important for us to point out also that while we have a Scout Association here in the Cayman Islands, that from an international perspective, especially when we participate in international events like jamborees, we are treated as a branch of the UK's Scout Association, so we go as a part of them as well. But we still operate autonomously here in the Cayman Islands.
That's very well said. And so that takes us to the point of the international relations in Scouting. We are part of a very huge body of individuals. Matter of fact, to date, Scouting numbers some 28 million. And that does not include the adults who serve the young people within the movement. The United States alone, for example, has some 2.8 million scouts, plus adults. Here in Cayman, we number just about 300 young people in the movement, plus adults. But speaking about the international relations in Scouting, this is enhanced by world jamborees or regional jamborees or cobberies for Cub Scouts, indabas, world conferences and regional conferences and training. And so through these activities and events, we're able to meet Scouts from across the globe. The last World Scout Jamboree we attended was in 2007, and I think we have missed about 2 or 3 since. Because a World Scout Jamboree is every 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
And the very next one will take place next year, from July 22nd to August 2 in West Virginia, United States, hosted by Mexico, Canada, and United States of America combined.
Yeah. And it's much closer to home for us now. This time, sometimes it's all the way over in Asia, and it makes it very difficult.
Absolutely. One part of that was in Japan. The one part...
A little farther away from the mic, yeah.
Right. The one part of that was in Japan. And yes, that's quite a distance away from Cayman. So even if we're able to go, there were other challenges. Plus, we were in the middle of building headquarters and we were fundraising and so on. So we did have financial challenges. Okay.
Now, recently on my other show, an individual called up and wanted to know about Scouting, how to get involved in it. And you did contact that individual, and that just happened to be that they were interested in registering a young lady for it as opposed to a young man. And we were unable to accommodate them. Explain to our listening and viewing audience, the makeup of the Scouts here in the Cayman Islands and how it differs in some jurisdictions. You have boys and girls, co-ed movements.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. And I was quick to point the lady to the Girl Guides Association.
Yes.
Incidentally, and many people don't know this, but the founder of the Scout movement, Lord Baden-Powell, is the same individual, along with his sister's help, that is Agnes, his sister, started the Girl Guides. Because back in the day, girls wanted to be Scouts so badly. And when Lord Baden-Powell had a meeting once with a group of young people, young boys, the girls The girls bombarded the gathering, right? They got themselves all dressed up and wanted to be scouts. And Lord Baden-Powell, in his wisdom back then, in his wisdom in quote, decided, no, this is not a program for girls. So what we'll do, we'll design a program specifically for girls and teach them, quote, girl things. Over the years, though, girls have continued to express interest in becoming members of the Scout movement. And locally, yes, we have had such interest expressed. I think Cayman Islands is really one of the few countries left that is not co-ed in Scouting yet. And recently, very recently, I think it was earlier this year, the Boy Scouts of America decided that they will also include girls. They've never had girls over the years. They've had Girl Scouts, but they were not Girl Scouts in the sense of being a part of BSA, Boy Scouts of America.
Okay. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break now. When we return, we will continue our discussion about scouting in the Cayman Islands with the Executive Commissioner of Scouts for the Cayman Islands, Mr. Winston Hale. Please stay tuned.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating.
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You may have heard of them by now. greenturtle.ky, a one-stop shop for your mobile needs. Whether shopping for a new phone or topping up a loved one, it's time to hop aboard the Green Turtle Express. From 24-hour delivery in Grand Cayman to sending credit worldwide, greenturtle.ky is the future of mobile. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. greenturtle.ky. They get there first.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. My name is Orrett Connor, filling in for Miss Sabrina Turner. We're talking about scouting in the Cayman Islands with the Executive Commissioner for Scouts in the Cayman Islands, Mr. Winston Hale. I should very quickly point out that the governor of the Cayman Islands is officially the chief scout of the Cayman Islands. I am the chief commissioner for Scouts in the Cayman Islands. But unfortunately, the UK took the governor back so quickly we didn't even have enough time to put his clothes on to invest him in scouting in the Cayman Islands. That's just a little aside there, a little jab there. But we want to talk about the important things in scouting. What some of the activities that Scouts get involved in the Cayman Islands, either social, civic activities as well. Winston.
Okay. But just to add, Chief Commissioner, OC, to what you just said, it's the Constitution of the Scout Association which dictates that the head of state be approached and appointed to become Chief Scout. And so far, we have not had any governor who has said no.
Precisely.
And we have been very fortunate to have had some.
Even our female governor.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The very last governor, Kilpatrick, was our Chief Scout. Okay. When we left off, we were speaking about the international relations in Scouting and some of the things that we do internationally.
Yes.
And I omitted to mention Jamboree on the Air, which is a yearly activity organized by the World Scout Bureau. And what that does is it provides the opportunity for scouts worldwide to get on ham radios and communicate with scouts right across the globe. And locally, we have been very, very lucky to have the Cayman Amateur Radio Association, CARA, who has for some 28 plus years been providing this service of scouting at no cost to us. They have all the equipment, they have all the expertise, they have members who come out yearly and volunteer their time. Suffice to say, this coming Saturday, the 20th of October, is going to be one such activity. And this is going to take place at the residence of Mr. Andrew Eden in Savannah. And we will be there from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., communicating with scouts right across the globe.
Excellent. Let's talk about our new headquarters. Exciting news about that. We've occupied it. We've also provided office space for our sister organization, Girls Guides, and also we have offered space to the Girls Brigade as well. Tell our listening and viewing audience the location for it, what we have established there, what we're planning on having in our headquarters, something that we have not had in a long time, ever since Dobson Hall.
Yes.
Those of you who remember Dobson Hall.
After several years of not having a place to rest and moving from place to place, really like a nomad, trying to get the movement going and the work of the activities and the work of the movement done, we finally, about 2 years ago, we finally got our headquarters completed. But that was not without tremendous amount of work and fundraising and
support from
the general public. Support from the general public. The cause being championed by one Mr. Charles Jennings. And Charles, I know, will not be very pleased.
He doesn't
having me mentioning his name. But I cannot otherwise because of Charles's effort and the sort of time and resources that he plugged into this, the sort of the interest he took.
Yeah, we're extremely grateful to him.
Extremely grateful to him. We really owe that.
Yeah, we were running out of time because this show is not as long as For the Record. So, very quickly, some of the future goals for the organization. Right.
Now that we have a place of our own and we have the facilities being heavily used by scouts, we intend, say within the next 2 or 3 years, to push hard to double our membership. That's one of the primary goals. Okay? And we're looking at doubling the membership to include Beaver Scouts, Cub Scouts, and Scouts.
Okay. And very quickly again, the schools that are involved in scouting, where we have actually troops or packs there,
yes.
Some of those?
Most of our primary schools, but in fact, the only primary school that never had a pack was Northside.
Okay. And
now we have a date of the 30th of October to have a unit established in the Northside primary school. So we'll be covering Cayman Island, Grand Cayman. Now we have Cayman Brac to look back at.
Yes. Excellent. Well, I want to wish again the Cayman Islands Scout Association all the best in their endeavors, and I certainly will be there behind you, supporting you in whatever way that I can as well. Folks, I want to thank you for listening to the Business Buzz. I want to remind you that the Business Buzz was proudly sponsored by greenturtle.ky. Get your new phone at greenturtle.ky. No stress, no fuss at greenturtle.ky. Also, the Business Buzz was brought to you by Cayman Medical Supplies. You can call them at 949-6211.
Satisfaction. satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.